Good afternoon. It is Hiker Dude Dad. We're at Frances Slocum State Park. This is Frances Slocum Lake, which is a backed up portion of Abrams Creek. We're on 1,000 acres here in Luzerne County. This is kind of a horseshoe-shaped lake. It's great for boating. It's a 165-acre lake, boating and fishing, and it is named for Frances Slocum. We are going to be learning about Frances on this very short hike. We are going to try and go swimming here today, actually, as a reward for good troopers here on this 4-state park swing. This is number 2 of 4 today. Gonna look for the Frances Slocum Trail here, which I think is taking us up into the woods here. And we are going to learn about this very interesting woman. Here we go. Okay, so following the yellow trail here, we've come into this nice shaded pine forest. It's noticeably cooler here than it was out in the sun there. Some trees down here. Some awesome rocky terrain right here. We're actually looking for a rock shelter, kind of an outcropping. Frances Slocum was born into a Quaker family from Rhode Island. They settled here in the Wyoming Valley, Pennsylvania. And during the Revolutionary War, well, just before that, she was born into the family. She's one of 10 kids. So they were living on a farm here near Wilkes Barre. And on November 2nd, 1778, when she was 5, she was captured by 3 Delaware Native American warriors at the farm and abducted. She was kidnapped with a friend of the family that was staying with them and taken. All right, kids, so after Frances was abducted, the first night that they were on the run, her and the neighbor kid and the Delaware warriors hid out here. Kind of this shelter here, natural shelter. And this is where they spent their first night as they were abducting Frances. So I saw some ledge here, got some stuff growing on top. I would definitely stay here.
How deep does it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's kind of a rock here.
They could probably climb that.
This is a great place to have a shelter if you steal someone, I guess. But anyway, they were here, spent that first night. And then they made their exit and fled west into Ohio. Yep, west.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Totally west. Yep, you guessed it.
I guessed it.
So she was basically then raised among the Delaware in what is now Ohio and Indiana. So no Amber Alerts or anything back then. She was abducted. They searched for her. Her brothers never gave up hope that she would be found. Shortly after, during the Revolutionary War, her father was killed. And then in the early 1800s, her mom passed away. She never saw her parents again. Eventually, she met her brothers and a sister and some of the brothers' children. but we'll get into that in a bit here. I just scared my kids by walking around here and climbing to the top of this shelter here. A lot of cool rocks to climb around on up here. I dropped a rock down and it scared them, so now B-Dog's pitching rocks up here. Hope I don't get hit. So, amazing rock outcropping, and fortuitous of them to find a shelter like this, but really love this forest canopy here. This is amazing. It's nice and cool and breezy. It's not a terribly warm day. When our day started, it was in the 50s. For June 10th, it's pretty good. But so after they took Frances back to the tribe, they gave her to a Native American couple, members of the tribe, who had lost a daughter, and they raised Frances as their own. So she lived with the Delaware in Ohio for a while, and then one day when she was older, and this sounds like a movie, but one day when she was older, she was out in the woods. She came upon a member of the Miami tribe who was injured, wounded badly. She took him back to her family. They cared for him and he healed, and they established a bond and later married. His name was struggling with these names. His name was Shepenkaha, let's say. Shepenkaha means deaf man. He was hard of hearing. He eventually became a Miami chief. She went to live with him and his Miami tribe, where she took the name, I don't have it in my notes, but when she was with the Delaware, they gave her a name, a Native American name, but the one that she took and had for most of her life then was from the Miami, and that name was Mackinac, which means little bear or young bear. I've seen both translations of it. So Frances, now fully immersed Native American culture, married, raised by Native Americans, and going by the name Mackinac now. The couple had 4 children. They had 2 sons that they lost when they were young, and 2 daughters that reached adulthood. Their names were, here we go again, Kikina, which means cut finger, and Ozashinkwa, which means yellow leaf. So Mackinac lived most of her life in Deaf Man's Village, which was near Peru, Indiana, or Fort Wayne area today. In 1835, she revealed to a visitor that she was a white woman who was abducted when she was 5. And this officer in the army, he was a colonel, Colonel Ewing, I believe, made it his job to go back east and try and find her family. And he did. It was a kind of a 2-year process. There was a lost letter found and published in a newspaper, and then someone here in the Wyoming Valley saw the letter, who knew the Slocums, the surviving brothers. So in 1837, 3 of her siblings, 2 brothers and a sister, came to see her for the first time in 59 years. They were thrilled to see her, but stunned at the transformation. I mean, to be a transformation anyway. She was 5, right? And now she's 65. So, but she spoke no English. That was just gone. She only spoke the Native American tongue. She did not remember that her Christian name was Frances. She did remember that her last name was Slocum. And they confirmed that she was her sister. They confirmed that she was their sister just from the story and her remembering the name, and because she had a disfigured index finger from an accident when she was less than 5 that they knew about. So they asked her to come back to Pennsylvania, and she declined. She said, I would be a fish out of water. I can't do it. My family's here. She still had 2 daughters. Deaf man had passed away by then. And she declined, saying she'd be a fish out of water. And no thanks. So they came to see her again about 2 years later. She declined again. Been talking too much that we almost passed by this nice rock right on the lake here on the Lakeshore Trail. You can take the Lakeshore Trail all the way around the peninsula that's kind of on the inner edge of the horseshoe. But again, I promised the kids some swimming, so we're just kind of hustling back here. Oh, there they are. I think it's picture time. So our plan was to do a little state park triathlon today. We have our bikes. We're going to take a swim here, a couple hikes, but the pool at Frances Slocum is closed. It is only open on the weekends. Gentleman here from the DCNR was walking out of the bathroom at that point and told us they just can't get lifeguards, which seems to be everybody's problems this summer. So, no problem. Thanks for the info. So, apologizing profusely, but yeah, there wasn't anything blatant on the website about it. It said open from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Wasn't anything real obvious about it being closed during the week. And it's Friday, you know, it's practically the weekend. But at Tuscarora State Park, I believe we can swim in the lake, so we may complete the triathlon regardless. But at Locust Lake, we got our bikes and we're going to be tearing around Locust Lake. So kids are over on the playground now, so I think I'm going to head over there with them. All right, so I'm just chilling here while Mad Taco and B-Dog play on the playground for a bit. Won't lie, swimming here was a big part of the bribe that got them to come along with me today. So we'll have to figure out something. I think maybe we'll do the plunge in the lake at Tuscarora or Locust Lake. I forget which one allows it. And it's a maintenance day here for the weekend. We got a lot of loud vehicles, tractors, mowers, all that, weed whackers. But yeah, enough people to take care of the park's grounds, but none certified to lifeguard today, unfortunately. Couple more little bits about Frances Slocum. There is a dam here. Not sure that we'll get to see it on the way out of here or not, but it backs up Abrams Lake, and it was, or Abrams Creek, into Frances Slocum Lake, and it was constructed in 1968, and that's when the park was open, once everything stabilized here. Kind of peninsula horseshoe was formed. Then they set up picnic areas and everything else and opened the park in 1968. In 1972, Tropical Storm Agnes devastated the Wyoming Valley to the east of here. Kind of southeast is where Wilkes Barre and Kingston are. Frances Slocum State Park was closed during that, but stayed dry enough that 280 families were moved into temporary housing here in the park when their homes, until their homes were restored. There were 13,000 damaged homes in Wilkes Barre, and another 6,600, I think, in Kingston. So after the last family moved out, the park reopened to the public then in June of 1974. All right, so a little disappointing on the swim front, but pretty cool history lesson. Neat little park here. I would definitely love to have time to explore more, but I have a very ambitious schedule today. So we're off, going to go an hour south here to Tuscarora State Park next. So hope you join us there. I hope you like our video and subscribe and tell a friend. And we'll see you next time.